Bramley. I'm production manager on the show, and Jim is my boss.
Yeah, I'm Jim Albarano. I'm the line producer on Who Do You Think You Are? It's usually the celebrity either contacts the show or we contact the celebrity and they say that they're interested. It starts with an initial phone call where we find out what they do know, what they don't know, what they want to know, and we kind of describe the process of we're going to need about 2 weeks of your time and we're going to take you on an adventure, but you're not going to know where you're going. And if they're still in after that, then we take anywhere from 3 months to a year to research. The average is around 6 months. Some of them come together quickly and some of them do take up to a year to really dig into the research. So during that time, we have our team of researchers working with researchers all over the world, digging through records and pulling together the story. And once the story starts to take shape, then we'll reach back out to the celebrity and say, hey, we have something really good, what's your schedule like? And then we pin down a schedule, and then when we come in is 6 weeks before the shoot, production comes on and the production team starts. And we use those 6 weeks to lock down the locations and get all the agreements and everything set up and all the crews and everything hired, and then so that everything's done before day one of the shoot. So you know exactly where you're going and what you're doing, but the celebrity doesn't know.
My first episode was Brooke Shields, and it was a crazy, crazy episode where we went to the East Coast and then to Europe, and she was related to kings and she touched kings' hearts and tombs, and it was a crazy episode. We're a well-oiled machine now. Back then well, Jim can talk to it a little bit more as well, but because it had come over from the UK, we had half of the kind of team was from the UK and half was from the US, and I guess I was a slight hybrid.
Almost all the team was from the UK, because it had been, at that point, I think on the UK for 5 seasons.
Yes.
So we were kind of learning how to do it, and they came over in that first season, so we could kind of watch how they put these episodes together.
Yeah, and through that, I think we did that for the first couple of seasons, and then it went pure American, and we switched to TLC obviously, and now it's all American directors and camera crew and people that we have the same teams that work on nearly all of the episodes. The biggest thing for us is making the celebrity feel comfortable. It's such a personal journey that you want her or him to be surrounded by a team of people that, you know, are polite and courteous and respectful and don't have phones on in the middle of a scene that are going to ring when they're learning.
And they all have to get along, because
yes.
It's a very close-knit group of 10 people, maybe,
it is.
And that includes the celebrity. So a lot of times you're going to dinner every night, you're all in the same hotel room, you're eating lunch together, you're working together.
Correct.
For 10, 12 days straight. So it's like you want to make sure you get along and that everybody respects each other.
Yes, you do become a mini family of sorts.
Yeah, that's true.
That rolls together, and everyone has to enjoy each other's company. But you also fight like a family. I spent a long time being the unit manager out in the field, which is the kind of, you know, doing all the logistics out in the field. So I've done quite a few, so I've been really lucky. We did Palace de Versailles for Brooke Shields. It was an amazing one. We got to go in before the public were there and the sun was rising, and it was a real experience and a real treat. We got to go to some great places with Chelsea Handler. We went to Germany. We went to Green Beach in France, where her grandfather was taken prisoner of war, and it was really special because we had a veteran there talking us through it. We just went back to the UK with Rachel McAdams. That was very cool.
For me, one of my favorite moments was on Tim McGraw. We shot in the Library of Congress, which I think is still the only time thus far we've done Library of Congress, but we had George Washington's diary, which you have to watch the episodes to see how that plays in. But to be there and off camera, even to be able to look at this document and see it being handled and pulled out, and that, you know, it really connects you to history.
It does. It's a real treat going to NARA in Washington. We've been there on loads of episodes, and the research room is beautiful, the documents, all the original documents you get to see. It's a real treat.
And it's cool being behind the scenes, because you get to walk through all the corridors.
Yeah.
And you get to see all the people at the desks that are behind the scenes working, and it's just, there's a cool feeling.
It was the Gwyneth Paltrow episode. It was the year that there were those huge snowstorms in New York and everything shut down. And I got a call the night before you know, we were in New York, we're planning to be at the library at 6 a.m. and I got a call at like 7 p.m. and they're like, I'm sorry, the snowstorm shut everything down, there's going to be no personnel, you can't come tomorrow. And I was like, what? Anyway, it took a lot of phone calls, a lot of convincing. One person, our on-camera contributor, very kindly schlepped all the way through the snow. It took her hours to get there, but she opened it up. But we were the only people in the library, and it was amazing. We got to roam the halls and go into all the rooms, and we owned the building, which is a first, and I don't think we'll ever be able to do that again, but it was really cool.
Voodoo in the weather is kind of amazing. We're always
Yes.
hitting up against that. I remember all the way back to Sarah Jessica Parker. I remember that we had her final scene up in Salem,
Yeah.
and her ancestor's gravestone was frozen over with a layer of ice, and we had to come up with a method to melt the ice so that she could actually see it and appreciate the gravestone. And of course we did that with the utmost care. But we always have weather.
Yeah.
Chris O'Donnell, we had tornadoes on the first day,
Yeah.
so flights were redirected.
Yeah, and you had to
Storms.
drive hours.
I love that every episode is vastly different.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because you work. Both worked in television. We've worked on other shows where it's very similar, and you get in a routine, and it's a challenge at the beginning, and then you kind of get into it, and then you kind of go on autopilot. You can't do autopilot on Who Do You Think You Are? It's every episode is a different country, different celebrity,
Yeah.
different needs, different kind of story, different era,
Yeah.
everything. So it's always fresh, and it's always a challenge, and I love the challenges of a new country.
There are so many different places we haven't been. I didn't go on the Cameroon one, I would love to go to Africa. I think that would be very special, but some of the countries we haven't cracked. I mean, we haven't been to Asia at all.
Right, anywhere in Asia.
Yeah.
India would be amazing.
India would be amazing. South America we haven't been to.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Australia, so far away.
Yeah.
Although I'd quite like to go to Hawaii as well, that one would be a nice one. Wouldn't mind that.
Ancestry.
But yes, we've got lots of different places that we need to venture to, and hopefully we'll see them in some upcoming seasons.